want some? Who's next? Huh? How about it? Who wants some?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Well, hello all, and welcome back to the VHS Doom podcast and rental store. I'm your host, as always, Dylan, and we're so glad you're back again for another week of insanity and diving into the shelves of chaos. We hope you enjoyed last week, where we talked about, depending on what week this premieres in, we either talked about Alien from 1979, and I may or may not have the same co-host. Not sure about that. Or we talked about, what was the last one we recorded?
Wishmaster.
What is your wish?
Yesterday. I don't know how
that was like yesterday, but we'll see. Either this or that'll come out first. I'm not 100% sure. But this week we have a super exciting time lined up for you guys. We haven't done a VHS Doom community room in a while.
I don't think I was on the last one.
What's that?
I don't think I was on the last one. Wasn't the last one the vampire?
Vampire. Joshua I included in like a different episode, the Prowler. I put him on like the beginning of the Prowler. That was kind of a community room deal. Yeah, but you were on Showstrom, right?
Was that? I thought it was just an interview. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm calling it community room. He had some stuff going on that he wanted to talk about. And then Buddy, for sure. Buddy Cooper. That was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you were there for that. So we're doing community room. We're super excited to be joined by Mike. Mike, can I say your last name? I mean, I can edit all this out.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right. So Grandelli. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you didn't want to do a mangled Italian pronunciation for that?
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Well,
shit. Okay. Let me play the special music. Mike Grandelli is in the house with us.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
Dude. Mike is a friend here from Richmond who I actually met when I was buying a VCR. This VCR that plays all this shit on the CRT over here.
You almost played porn last episode.
Yeah, I kind of almost played porn a little bit. It was like softcore, though. What was it? Birthright.
Right?
1995,
Okay.
Birthright. Yeah, it's kind of porny. It looks like horror, but it's like horror porn. But yeah, so I bought the VCR from Mike, and then he followed us on the show page, and we kind of kept in touch. And we have a couple kids in the same age range, and started hanging out. But Mike is big into collecting. So video_historical_society on Instagram. Man, when I started following your page and just seeing all the shit that you were posting, you have some sweet stuff, man. So we're super excited to have you on today.
Yeah, it's cool to be here, man. Really cool. Been, listening to the pod for, not quite a year yet, but, a while. And it's super cool to be here.
Thanks,
Mikey,
man.
I'm glad to see that you came back again from the dead from the last episode. So.
For the 100th time now.
You've reborn again, yeah.
It keeps
I
happening.
think maybe I have a problem, and I just like killing you every single episode. I don't know.
Funny.
I write the scripts, so sorry, man. I'm glad you're still my friend.
I mean,
If you're even you right now, I don't know. You can. No. We'll skip all that shit today. But yeah. So I was just on your Instagram, just looking up a couple things, and your quote that you have, like under your heading, is celebrating and appreciating physical media, which I like. And now for your feature presentation, I think it says, Mike, if you want to take a minute and just kind of tell us about yourself and what you're doing and everything, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, wait, which one?
Sorry. Mike G.
Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, Dylan, like you just mentioned, I have an Instagram, Video Historical Society, VHS, celebrating and appreciating physical media, and yeah, that's what I like to do, man. I love movies, I love film, I'm certainly no expert, but I like what I like, and I collect what I like, and I like to have it. I like to have the boxes. I like to have the cases. I like to have the art, and I like to have it sitting on my shelves.
Yeah, man.
Feel like I can find
I'm the same way.
something usually easier, looking on my shelves and picking it out like I was at the movie time when I was a kid, or
Yeah.
Blockbuster or wherever you went, right? Then flipping through streaming, which I do too, but that's that. What do they call that? Dead scrolling or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Doom
Like
scrolling, I think it is.
doom
Yeah.
scrolling. Yeah. So
Right.
yeah, just I like to have the physical piece in my possession.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. I've caught the bug now, as you can see, and I just got like boxes and bags. I was really excited to get you on because, I mean, we're in the middle, well, toward the end of at this point, but VHS September or VH September. I always probably say that wrong. But we had been talking about that, and you actually sent
Mm.
me the prompt for that,
Hmm.
which I kind of fucked up in the beginning. I was just posting whatever the hell I wanted, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's
That
like a set of
works.
stuff." Yeah, so trying to stick to it, but there's a lot to be said about collecting and being able to post stuff from your own collection, and yeah, so I'm just glad to have you on to talk about that, especially in September when it's a focus. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
yeah,
been
so
fun. It's cool to kind of look through every day and check out what the prompt or theme for the day is, and like look through all the tapes and go, oh, what's going to fit, even if it is something
yeah,
that maybe only makes sense to me or you or whoever else is posting. But I think some people have been doing some really clever things, and some people get so into it, man.
yeah,
They do cosplay, or they're setting up props, and they're using fake blood, and some people get really into it. I'm just
that's
posting the
cool.
tape for the most part, but and
Yeah,
try to pair a song with it every day too. But yeah, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool
I
thing.
think I did. It's all personalized, right? Like,
Mm.
I think it's Raining Men. That was an interesting one for me. I'm looking through the collection. I'm like, what the fuck should I do? What do I do? And then I saw the Santa Claus, and I'm like, oh yeah, he fell off the roof and died. It's
Oh
Raining
yeah,
Men,
no,
right?
yeah,
That's why.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's clever. Yeah, shit, I don't
Right?
remember what I did. That was just yesterday, right? I think I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
what day
yeah.
it is anymore.
Man, you posted some cool shit though. I've enjoyed watching what you've been posting up.
Oh, I did
So
A Macho Man Randy
yeah, that
Savage
was
tape.
it.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I guess if you can kind of tell us a little bit about your journey into collecting. So what led you into catching the bug and becoming like a collector?
Yeah. I mean, I've always collected stuff, like since I was a kid. Just wanted to keep things like how they were. Like even some toys when I was a kid, I as a small child didn't always play with them. I wanted to keep them how they were when I
Yeah.
got them, right? And then I always loved movies. My dad, when I was younger, and for most of my life, worked in television. Local
Okay.
news stations in the area where I'm from, and then also like some cable networks as well, doing mostly news and then like promotional work, but creative promotion work, right? Commercials and things. He had a background in theater when he was a younger man, and he really liked film and television, so he introduced me to a lot of stuff and would take me to the movies. The first movie that I remember like vividly seeing in a theater was Batman '89 when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
Scared the fuck out of me at the time, but now still one of my favorite movies. So always had movies around as a kid, and when I was a teenager, adolescent, was starting to maybe have a job, make my own money, I was going to local stores, going to like Suncoast in the mall and buying
I
VHS
miss that
and
store.
then
I miss that place
DVDs. And
too.
I don't think I ever really got rid of anything. Probably some things along the way, but when I had some friends that were really into to movies and stuff too. They were, getting rid of their stuff, selling it
Hmm.
off to whatever. When just particularly when VHS was going out, I just
Yeah.
held on to it, and I always did. And then I think it was when I moved up here, and then COVID hit not long
Yeah.
after. I just kind of started organizing stuff, and I had a separate Instagram already where I just kind of posted more like kitschy knickknacks and things because I
Okay.
go thrifting a lot, and my
Okay.
wife also has an Instagram where she sells like mostly vintage housewares and stuff. Anyway,
Oh, nice.
do a lot of thrifting and secondhand stuff, and I had this Instagram that I just kind of started posting tapes instead. And then as I was doing that, I was finding other people that were doing it and found this whole Instagram community that I had no idea existed. I just had started posting my tapes, right? And
Yeah.
thought it was something cool that I did on my own and realized, man, there's actually more people. And the Instagram VHS community is so cool. They're so inclusive and fun, and just like everybody's, really supportive, and just like, it's just cool, man. It's just a world I didn't know was out there. So
yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I didn't realize that either until we started the show. And there are even, gosh, like I think we talked about this not that long ago, but VHS's Life, right? There's a company where a guy's making a mold cleaner, right? So people are really making the effort to preserve these things now. And I'm pretty sure I saw him post about his mold cleaner / vacuum setup, like the Smithsonian or something picked up, like, a unit, something like that. It was pretty cool. So people are taking it seriously, which is awesome. And they are supportive, there are tapes that hit better than others, just saying, on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. My Santa Claus tape got nowhere near as much love as Bordello of Blood, but
right. Yeah. The horror stuff always takes it better than any other genre, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, so you were saying that your dad worked in media, so I'm assuming you were. Was he into film? Was he like kind of a cinephile or a media head?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was ever maybe quite as deep into it as I've gotten as an adult, but he always definitely was really into it, and like I said, introduced me to a lot of stuff. Like even as a kid, I remember him watching Twin Peaks and kind of like being really interested in that and not understanding it. I was pretty young when Twin Peaks came out, but now like going back and watching it, really having a deeper appreciation for it because I remember it as a kid, right? Like he was really into the X-Files, which I still love. I still watch it like over the air on the Comet network sometimes in the middle of the night on my shitty antenna that I have on my TV.
Nice.
Things, but and then older stuff too, like the Three Stooges and all the Warner Brothers animation. So like there was a lot of stuff that he was watching when I was a kid that I feel like I just kind of latched onto and still really love now as an adult. So yeah,
that's cool. So was there a point or like a film, TV series that really kicked off your love of media or cinema? Right? Was there something you saw in the theater, or something you picked up from like a shelf on a rental that you were like, wow, and that kind of like led you further into the path that you've gone down?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's quite a few moments. The Batman experience, remembering that from being like 6 years old for sure. Beetlejuice, taping it off like Cinemax or something when it first came out, which I think I still have that tape somewhere. Somewhere it exists. It might be at my parents' house still, but like that Showtime or Cinemax and watching Beetlejuice, when I was like 5 or 6, it came out. And then when I was about, I want to say like 12 or 13, 2 movies came out around the same-ish time. Clerks and Airheads, right? Went to like a sleepover at my buddy Keith's house, and his mom took us to Blockbuster, and we rented Airheads, of course, because it had Adam Sandler in it, right?
Sure.
Like that was, yeah. But in the clamshell box was Clerks. Like it was supposed to be Airheads, but we got Clerks instead. And being like, I think I was 12 or 13. Like, what is this fucking black and white movie about these dudes at a convenience store? This is fucking stupid. Jay and Silent Bob were kind of funny, but right. So that I remember, and then like maybe just not many years later, a couple years later, watching it again and being like, oh, this is a cool flick. And Mallrats had already come by then, and Kevin Smith now was like a bigger name, but just accidentally getting Clerks
Nice.
when I was 13 years old, made a big impression. And I think that I'd say that is probably the moment. And then I really was
Okay.
diving deeper into film, then getting into, Scorsese, and then from Scorsese getting into like other New York directors like Spike Lee, and then from that into like Jarmusch and stuff, and then into even more underground stuff, and that just went on. Some things I rewatch now and realize, man, I really didn't understand this when I was 16 or 17, but I thought it was so cool. And now as a much older than that person, being like, wow, I'm glad I revisited this again and can get an even further, deeper appreciation of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've noticed that a lot as I've gotten older as well. When you go back and you rewatch things that you saw as a teen or whatever, it does. You have a different perspective. You're applying your life perspective as it is now into what you're watching, and the content can hit in a deeper level for sure. Very cool, man. Well, Mikey, I can talk all fucking day. So if there's anything you want to ask Mike or anything, please feel free to jump in.
No, I'm enjoying the conversation right now.
Nice.
I don't know.
No, you're good. You're good.
I felt the same way. I saw Alien when I was 6. We were talking about in the last episode.
Yeah.
And it was the same kind of thing. I was scared as hell as seeing it, but now it's my favorite movie.
Isn't that wild? I feel like 6 for Alien, dude. Yeah, 6
my
is
uncle
young.
forgot he did that, and he texted me after he listened to the episode. He's like, I should let you see that, but I wouldn't take you to 8 Mile. I'm like, what? And so when 8 Mile came out, I wanted to see that so bad. And like he was like, oh, no, I'm not taking you to see that.
One of my worst theater stories with my father. He took me to see Borat with his buddy, and they didn't know what the hell it was. They're like, "Oh, yeah, it's comedy, whatever." When we go into the theater with like all these people, and it's Borat, and they're like, like trying not to laugh at shit that they're like, "Oh God, that was a wild experience." Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, so. I mean, Mikey, you're a big collector too, and Mike, you're a big collector, and I have caught the bug thanks to Mikey. Maybe at my wife's disdain a little bit here and there, if more bags.
I didn't tell you to
tapes
order all
pop
those
up.
tapes.
I can't help it. It reminds me of my childhood. But yeah, so
I mean, I do have like 4 boxes of movies for you over here.
Oh yeah, 10-year shipping, buddy.
Yep, I'm gonna get them out next week. I promise.
Okay. We'll talk about that again next year.
Okay, fine. I'll prove it to you.
This is an ongoing theme with this box of tapes, right?
Yeah. He's been putting together a box for me for
Really home.
Oh, it's actually real? I thought it was just a bit.
It is real. That's the funny part. The funny part is he's taking pictures. I know what's in the box, and he just hasn't sent the box for a decade.
Well, at least you know it's safe if he's been holding on to it.
Yeah, everything's going to be in good quality, good order. It's just if I'll ever see it.
We got Hellraiser 2, Dead Heat, Chud,
Fuck yeah. All right.
Cellar Dweller, and Catacombs. I can go on. These boxes are
I found it really hard, actually. So I did it like a giveaway on Instagram a while back, and I gave away a few tapes, one of them being Chud, and it kind of hurt me to send that to somebody, but I did.
I forgot you sent that one out.
I did.
Yeah, when I first started the VHS OA, I kind of started it to sell because I had been collecting for so long, and then had been thrifted, and I started then at one point I was kind of just picking up stuff like that I didn't even really want, and I was like, I got all this stuff I don't need. I don't necessarily even want. Let me start trying to sell it. So I had put up some stuff for sale. I think after like a month, I'd sold like 2 tapes, and I was like, this isn't really my thing. There's a lot of people that's exclusively what they do on Instagram, and it's great. They're really good at what they do. Somehow, I don't know where some of these people get some of this inventory. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I was like, what? The selling side of it isn't for me. I just want to collect what I like and just show it off in a way that's fun for me and see, who else might appreciate it. So,
for sure.
Because it is hard to let it go. Like once you have it, especially if it's something you like if you got Chud, I would have a hard time giving that one up too. I'm sure.
I did.
But it's good. It's also good to like send it out into the world too, to have someone else.
I usually
Right.
Usually when I upgrade some of them to Blu-ray, I usually send it to Dylan. Like I used to do that when we
Yeah,
worked
you
together. I'll
did.
give it to
That
him.
was nice, man. I have a lot of
Yeah.
DVDs that you gave me because of that. So
And
thank
I
you.
plan.
am
I definitely do
appreciative.
plan sending you the stuff. So you're definitely gonna get Chud again, but it's gonna be the Anchor Bay DVD.
Sounds good to me, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So the next little point that I want to, I mean, not a little point, like the majority of what I think we're all here for is just the importance of physical media collection, right? So having the physical copy of the piece of media that you want or that you like. Why is that so important? To you guys, right? So Mike, I'll ask you first, and then Mikey, I'm going to ask you the same question. But Mike,
I think you know my answer, but yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So why is it so important to have that piece of physical media?
I mean, that's when you have that, that's yours. That's your copy of it, and as long as you take care of it, and I mean, tape degrades, DVDs rot, as we know, Laserdisc rot. But like for the most part, if they're in a good environment, that is your film to watch forever. That's your piece of media to watch forever. Streaming's great. You can find a lot of really good quality stuff on streaming. As we know, Tubi, sponsor the fucking pod, right? Tubi's got a lot of great content. But
yes,
they can take stuff off at any time too, and it happens all the time. And you might go back to watch something. You might go back to watch Chud, and it's gone, right?
Yep.
But you can watch Chud when you got it on VHS every day if you want to, right? So that's a big part of it. And to me, I know for a lot of collectors, Mikey, I think from listening to the show, you mostly collect 4K now, right? I mean, to me,
not really. I think I have like maybe 20 4K.
Okay.
Because originally when I got the Xbox, I thought I could play 4K on it. My TV is 4K. I just don't have a 4K player right now. So I mostly still get Blu-ray and DVD if I do get DVD at all.
Yeah, to me, it's not always about, and sometimes it is, but it's not always about the highest quality, but it's about the nostalgia factor of it. I love putting a tape in a VCR. I love feeling that clunk when you put it in and having to push an actual button and feeling like that there's something mechanical behind it. I just like that sensation, and it's just, it's an experience to do it. My daughter now, she's 3. She knows how to load a VCR. She knows how to load a DVD. So that's fun. She's got her own little collection going on, mostly Mickey tapes and some Elmo in there. So yeah,
I love that, man. Yeah,
streaming, that stuff can just be gone at any moment, and it's not yours. You don't actually know. I've got things in my Prime, in my Amazon that have expired that I bought like 10 months ago. How does that expire? Like I thought I bought it, right? And it's like now it's like, oh, you can buy it again at a discount, right? Like, well, I'm not gonna buy movies on Prime anymore that way, right? Like, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I guess Mikey, same question to you, man. I feel like your answer is gonna be similar.
Yeah, I usually collect stuff because like I don't want it to like go out like. When it's on streaming, as he said before, like you'll lose it if they lose the rights to it. It's just gone. Because like some distributors just don't care about the film; they'll hold on to it forever, and like you'll never see it again.
Yeah.
And also, it's just like the nostalgia of like going to the video store, picking up the movie, picking it yourself, looking at the artwork on it too. I guess I'm happy about like so many of these like boutique companies like Arrow or Vinegar Syndrome, where they're putting out old movies and they're doing like a really nice job putting out an actual physical copy of it, taking the time, because like a lot of these studios when they're releasing movies now, they don't even give a shit. They'll like put it on a shitty DVD or not even DVD, like a Blu-ray with nothing on it, and like, or they'll put it on streaming and then that's it, and then it'll just disappear.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. I agree with both of you on all of that. I think the nostalgia bit for me on the VHS is there, right? I'm plugging the tape in, hearing the clunk and the, it's the whole thing. That's amazing. And I mean, the boxes, right? Like just having, all the art just on the side. Like, I don't know. I just love it. It just takes me back to my childhood, which is cool. And having them, right? Because they're not making any more of these, right? Unless it's like, I mean, there are enough collectors now that I know that they're putting some stuff out, on VHS, or like people are illegally putting stuff on VHS now, whatever. But it's not coming back. So this is like, if you have these, you have them, and they're not making more. I also think, kind of like on the flip side, I think it's important. Right. So like streaming is where all of this like new indie stuff is going. Like we talked to Tom Devlin, his movie The After Dark is out now. He had Teddy Told Me To, a couple other projects, and they're on Tubi, right? But you can also buy a Blu-ray from him, or AMP Films. They put out Murder Size with Kansas Bowling. They're on Tubi, they're on Prime, but also you can go to their website and buy a Blu-ray. And when you do that and you purchase that physical copy from these smaller production companies, you're putting money in the pocket of the people that you are enjoying their work, right? It's a direct route to that. So I think that's important too, for sure. All right, cool. So yeah, we've talked, your journey. We've talked the importance of physical media, which is really the main shit, we wanted to talk about here. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about Richmond, or like Virginia specific spots, right? So like this, I am out of Richmond. Mike, you're in Richmond. Mikey's in Connecticut.
I'm in Connecticut.
Boo. But I was gonna kind of pick your brain on like, what are some Richmond collecting centric places that we could go. I do want to mention KO Video and Kevin.
KO Video. Yeah.
KO Video. Yeah.
Don't
He'll
make
sell
me
you
back
any
on
tape,
video.
any VHS tape there for like $3 or something. So
Except for his WWF tapes. Those he's holding on to.
Yeah.
Which ones does he have?
Man, he's got WrestleMania's going back to, I think, 1990 through 90, through the 90s, most of the 90s. He's got a couple, what other one? He's got a couple early WCW tapes, which the early WCW tapes are just, the quality's crap compared to what WWF was putting out with Coliseum Video back then, but like 89 Bash at the Beach or something. Some things that I definitely rented from him, but he's got quite a bit. A couple SummerSlams in there, but some cool stuff. The covers, the big boxes, man, that's what those are all about. Those covers were amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, the cover, yeah. I'm looking on Wikipedia on the cover. I was trying to see who was the main event of that one. Wow, yeah. Why does he
so what are some other, because I know when we first met, Mike, you mentioned, like, I was just kind of starting to get into all of this, and you're like, if you're into it, Richmond has some good, groups or some good, spots you can go. What are some Virginia collecting hubs that you use? Like, where do you go?
Yeah, I mean, I hit the thrifts, man. I think that's the best place still to find VHS, because people are they're getting rid of it. I mean, to the vast majority of the population, VHS is dead media, right? Mm-hmm. So to us,
people are starting to say that about Blu-rays too now.
I know. Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately too. It's like, who's still buying Blu-rays? I'm like, I just started buying Blu-rays. What? I didn't know they were old already. But
during the pandemic, I got a region-free Blu-ray player, so I've been trying to get some stuff from other countries and stuff. So I definitely don't think it's dead.
Yeah. But yeah, hitting the thrifts. I mean, you mostly see the same stuff over and over, all the commons, right? But every once in a while, you find the real good stuff. They're around here. We've got KO Video. If anybody's listening from the Richmond area, if you don't know about KO, it's in the Westland Shopping Center, which is the one with the big neon cactus sign. You know where it is. Kevin's a great guy. He's been there since. I think he told me he bought that store, which has been in that location since the 80s. It was called Max Home Movies and Video. The sign is still there because he just never changed the sign. He did get his own sign too, but the old sign is still there too. He's been there, I think, since 2005, but this is his third video store. So he's been around this area in the video biz for many, many years. He's got a lot of stuff. It's an old place. It's not usually very busy, but you get to know him. At first you walk in and at least the first time I walked in, Dylan, I think your story is similar. he doesn't really say much until maybe you go talk to him because he's feeling you out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, as he told me later, a lot of times people just come in. It's kind of a curiosity now,
Yeah.
and they kind of look around and then they leave. So he kind of waits until people start talking to him, I think.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his loyal crew of guys, I think, that come in and rent
That was
frequently and
wild.
still buy from him too. So a lot of
Right.
times I'll see the same couple guys in there if I go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found it interesting. Yeah. So it's not just a VHS or like a, video store for like sale. Like he rents stuff and he does it out of a book, right? Like
out of a
he just,
out of a 3-ring binder with loose leaf paper, and he has everybody written down, and everybody's got their own page, and he writes what they have, and then
I miss
that's how he does it.
Yeah.
No, cash only. Better bring cash.
Yeah.
He's got lollipops for the kids.
That's awesome. I'll tell you, I used, so the interior of that store, like when you walk in, it feels like you've gone back into like 1980 something.
Yeah.
Right. Because the carpet's green and he's got like the wood, like dark, like that
wood paneling. Yeah.
Yeah. Wood paneling. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Every basement in the 90s had.
Yeah.
So when I was doing early, like, kind of like promotional content for VHS Doom, because the concepts were at the rental store, right? That's where the interior, where I put like, little like demon scabby man in front of a VHS, whatever. I took just a screenshot off his Google, so hopefully he doesn't sue us or whatever. But I thought that store looked so fucking cool. I had to borrow it. So yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like thrifting has been hit or miss for me. I've been Facebook Marketplace, man, because like you're right, like everybody's trying to get rid of their weight,
not just
right. Yeah. And tapes take up a lot of space, so you can get like I got for $50 the first time I bought tapes. I got 200 tapes or something like that. Like it was like ridiculous.
Get a whole family's collections, right?
Yeah, it was like their whole life, and it had all their like recorded off TV shit or whatever. I have some of those up there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And if you scour Marketplace and you follow the right things, like I've found my copy of Dead Alive came from Marketplace. Nice. I think I got a couple Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2, like for pretty cheap, right? Like because a lot of times on Marketplace it's people that are just getting rid of stuff, and maybe some people know what they have, right? There's one guy that's Richmond based, I can't think of his name. I don't know him personally, but he's got like a lot of really cool stuff up on Marketplace right now, like some good old like Nickelodeon, like Are You Afraid of the Dark tapes, and some horror stuff too. I don't, like I said, I don't know him personally, but I know he's local, so he must be a collector too. But there's also I haven't gone there in a while because I moved out of the city a couple years ago, but there's a record store / pinball arcade / video store called Wax Moon in Scott's Addition. I used to go there pretty frequently because I lived very close, but they carry some Laserdisc, a lot of VHS, and a lot of movie related stuff in addition to records. And like I said, they have, I don't even know how many pinball machines now. When I first started going there, I think they had like 3 or 4, and now I think they've got like 20. Yeah. That's a super cool place. Actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I need to get back there again. Yeah. So yeah, Richmond's a cool town.
Yeah, I checked that out once, and I talked about them on the show. It's a cool place, but man, there is a premium charge for the things that you're looking for there. But you find some cool shit, so it's like worth it,
Right? Like, they've got good. He keeps good inventory.
$20 for this tape, but it's so good,
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. Awesome. So Laserdisc, I wanted to ask you about that because you told me the last time we talked you're starting to make your way into that. So how'd that happen, and what are you collecting?
So I've got a friend from work who also is into collecting movies, and he collects a lot of electronics, more so like on the music side, a lot of stereo equipment, and he repairs things, and we talk about music and movies and stuff all the time. And he had bought like a a lot of stereo equipment, and one of the things in there was like a laser disc karaoke machine, right? So he's like,
Okay.
oh man, he didn't even realize it was in there, I don't think, when he bought a bunch of stuff from this one person. So he kind of started getting into laser discs. I was like, man, that's got to be my next move. Like now, like I've got all these VHS, like I need another another dead technology in my home.
Yes.
And it's just, now that I've been learning more about it, it's just so interesting how it's an analog system, right? I mean, it's got digital audio, but the players and the video is an analog signal. Not the best quality. I'd say like on par with DVD or close to it, but that's what it was marketed as when it came out in the late 70s and into the 2000s. It was for movie lovers. It was for cinephiles because it was the top quality, and it had the several audio tracks, so you could put commentary, you could put some special features and that sort of thing. It's big, it's clunky, it's obnoxious. I don't have a player that has a laser that rotates, so you have to get up and change it. Some movies are 2 discs, so you got 4 sides depending on how long it is. But there's just something about that too. Like in a laser disc player, you mentioned, Dylan, about hearing a VCR start up. Man, a laser disc player spins at like 1800 RPM. So it's like that sound. It's just a cool sound. You put that disc in, you see that big tray go in. So all the laser discs that I have, I bought the player Facebook Marketplace from somebody in Mechanicsville that had it in their garage. Really nice guy, and his daughter. His garage was cool too, man. He had like he was like a biker guy, kind of he had a big white beard, and he was working on his motorcycle, and he had a little stage set up in the back with drums and a guitar, and he had like a big Jimi Hendrix tapestry, and he was just using the laser disc as a CD player. So he said it had come from like the local historical society. He got it like 20 years ago. It used to just sit in the corner and play a Civil War documentary or something. He's like, so they were just looking to part ways with it. So then I found all the laser discs that I have from KO. Jokingly, one day I went in there with my daughter to rent a movie one afternoon and jokingly said to Kevin, hey man, you got any laser discs? Because not really thinking he did, right? And he's like, oh yeah, look under my chair. Look under that box that's leaning against my chair. So I lifted the cardboard box off of his recliner, and there were 2 banker's boxes full of laser discs he had just got from some guy that he was selling for him on consignment. So I flipped through them, and I got some pretty cool stuff. Batman '89. I got a lot of like sequels. Maybe somebody had already gone through this collection. I got like Basket Case 2. I got Maniac Cop 2. I got. Did I get Texas Chainsaw 2? It was in there. I'm not sure if I picked that. But but anyway, some cool stuff. The Brood. I got The Thing. I got Escape from New York, which I just watched the other night for the first time in a while, and it was good. That was good quality on LD.
We got to cover that movie.
It's a good one, man. Yeah,
add that to the list.
A few other things, I can't remember all of them. I think I picked up about 12 from him so far. One movie I'd never heard of, but I bought it because it had a great cover called Savage Streets with Linda Blair, and it's about...
that's a good revenge movie.
Yeah. I had never heard of it, never seen it. I was like, this cover is amazing. Let me get this. And yeah, that was a fun one. So anyway, that's how I kind of got into Laserdisc. I haven't really done too much collecting since that first push, and I'm still working through that dozen or so that I bought from him to watch. But it's a fun, cool, weird technology.
That's cool, man. I feel like the only Laserdisc. Oh, what'd you say?
No, I have to cut out now.
Oh, okay. All right, man. No worries. Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate you.
I hope we have you on the show again, honestly.
Yeah, Mike, for sure. Good to meet you, man. Nice chatting with you.
Yeah. I think the only Laserdisc movie I ever watched was at my uncle's house. He was, he had the whole setup. He had like the big screen, the Laserdisc player, surround sound, the nice chairs. He did all of that. And it was The Wizard of Oz, I think. Yeah. And I remember my cousin, his daughter, like in the middle of it, she had to get up. She opened the tray. She flipped it, changed the whole thing. And then we were just like, oh, wow, this is so cool. That was a cool time, man. That was cool shit. Yeah, man.
It's an experience.
Yeah, for sure. I hope to have that experience again at some point. Maybe we can get together and I'll check out Laserdisc with you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have Laserdisc.
Cool, man. Well, so I guess that's about all the questions and stuff I had. I want to say again that everybody can definitely go follow you, video underscore historical underscore society on Instagram. Is there any other pages you have that you want anybody to check out?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely have some Instagram favorites. Some people that I follow that I continuously really love seeing their stuff. And there's a lot, but there were a few that I wrote down that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Horror High VHS is one.
Okay.
They've always got good stuff. Movie Miyagi. He's a good dude. I think he might be from Virginia too, but not around here. I think I might be mixing him up with somebody else, but he always does really cool little reels too. Like he seems to, really put some thought into his stuff, and he seems like a funny guy.
Okay.
Ben's Blockbuster. He's always got good stuff. Video Consumption is a really good Instagram that he sells a lot of stuff, and I've bought quite a bit of things from him, and he always has really good sales, and he's like really good at communicating. He'll send out like messages like, hey, I'm having a sale at whatever time, like here's a preview of some of my stuff. And then and Damn Fine Tapes is another one. So yeah, that's just like there's many more people that I either just maybe I don't necessarily interact with them. There's a few of these people I do kind of chat with sometimes. But the Instagram community, like I said before, it's just really inclusive. There's a lot of Facebook VHS collecting groups too, but I think like a lot of things, at least I noticed on Facebook, like the Facebook VHS groups they're like toxic, man. They're like people trolling each other, people just correcting each other, or like just talking shit for what people are collecting. Like, so what if people collect Disney? Great, I got Disney tapes too. I mean, I also have all the Evil Dead tapes, but like whatever. Like, let people like what they like, and that's why I like Instagram a lot better than getting in the Facebook groups. But
I've noticed that too, man, and it goes across like everything. So I'm a big Tolkien nerd. Like I'm really into Lord of the Rings, and if you go on Facebook on any sort of Tolkien pages at all, if you mention like Rings of Power, I don't know if you're into any of that or not, but if you mention that show on any of those pages, they will tear you apart. And I'm like, bro, just let people enjoy what they want to watch.
I mean, like to even further separate things that are like already subcultures, I think is just really gross. Like, just let people do their thing. Like, you're into this subculture too, so what if this guy likes this book and you don't like this one? Like, so what? Like, I don't know. Just
live and let live, man. Yeah, but it's hard. Yeah. That's hard on Facebook. People don't do that shit. Oh man.
There's some other some stores too. Like, I've never really been to any of these places, but I've started to like really. There's like more like physical stores that there's more popping up, and that's cool. Like, I don't think physical film will probably ever reach the resurgence that we've seen with like vinyl records and even cassette tapes, for music. Probably not, but it's cool to see that there's like physical brick and mortar stores popping up around the country. A few that like I really like are Whammy Analog Media in Los Angeles. They started just as a website, and they still have a really good website. I remember I have a Pee-wee's Playhouse box set that I bought from them probably, I don't know, 5 or so years ago when they were just a website. But now they have a cool little shop, it looks like, and they have a little cinema where they do screenings and they do like film workshops and stuff like that. But there's places like that popping up all around. There's, I know Mikey talks about, I think, the Archive. That's like close to where he lives, right? I always check out there. I have them as one of my favorites on Instagram because I just like to see what they're getting, like what they're posting. There's a little shop that just seemed to pop up somewhere. I think it's in Huntsville, Alabama, called KBS VHS. Looks like a little tiny place, man, but it just looks super cool. And I try to always engage with his page because it looks like he's really passionate about what he does, and he's making hats, and I think he's making shirts, but he's also selling tapes and DVDs, and it's just really neat. And then
that's awesome.
Like a special mention for me is the Narrow Video in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay. Yeah.
They're not. They now their collection is part of the Old Dominion University library, but they used to have a
Okay.
physical store in Norfolk that I didn't go to all that often because I didn't live super close. But whenever I could, I would go rent from them. They were open for years and years and years. Had to shut down a few years ago, but yeah, now their whole collection now resides at Old Dominion University. But you can now get a membership again.
Wow.
And go in there. And I just think that's like such a cool innovation. And
Huh.
one also special thing to me is my daughter's birthday is, she was born on a Saturday the 14th. So when I bought my VHS copy of Saturday the 14th, I bought it on eBay, which I rarely do. I like to find things in the wild, as they say. But I
Sure.
bought it on eBay, and it came from
Yeah.
somewhere in California. But
Nice.
it had a narrow sticker on it, and I was like, "Wow, this came all the way back
Wow.
across the country to a place I used to go from the time I was a teenager." So that's really neat. So yeah, there's just like, it's good to see brick and mortar still surviving or just starting. So
Yeah.
neat.
I think so. I just spoke with yesterday, actually. There's a company that's developing an app, and actually, it's in conjunction with Lunch Meat VHS.
Oh
If
yeah,
you've
lunch meat's
seen
great.
them, yeah,
Yeah,
Lunch Meat.
yeah.
So they're working with Lunch Meat, and it's called FizMe, PHZME. So the app that they're developing, and I think they're going to debut it at Comic-Con in LA, like in a week or two, something like that. It's going to allow you to catalog your collection and get collectors involved in creating what is the value of this stuff, right? Because a lot of people, it's
Nice.
a lot of guessing, right? Like,
Yeah.
is the copy of Little Mermaid with the penis on the front like worth $18,000 on
Right.
eBay, right? It's not, right? I have one back here, right? But so it's going to be a more legitimized like source for creating value, but also just displaying your collection in a digital way, which is kind of cool. So I'm excited to see more
Yeah,
from
that's
them.
awesome.
Yeah. I feel like I miss the stores, right? That's why I think KO is so special in places like that.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad you pointed out a few. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Cool. Shit. What else you got?
I mean, I guess that's it, man. Yeah, that covers it, man. It's just, it's something I just like to do. I like movies. I said in the beginning, I'm not an expert. I just like to watch movies. I always have, and I like the nostalgia of it. It's just a cool thing. And then finding stuff like, you were the third person I was supposed to meet to sell that VCR, right?
Oh,
Like
for real?
the other two people flaked out,
Nice.
and
This thing works like a champ. It's a
yeah, that's
workhorse.
awesome. That's good to hear. I think
Yeah.
it's funny. After I sold you that one, like my two other VCRs like crapped out, and it took me a while until I found one that actually worked that I didn't have to
Sorry.
fix. But
Yeah.
but no, I'm glad you got it because then like you told me about the pod. I started listening to it.
Yeah.
You guys have really cool content, and from listening to your podcast, like I actually like I live really close to KO Video. I had never
Okay.
gone there
Yeah.
because honestly I thought it was closed down. You had
Oh,
mentioned like, oh, have you ever been
yeah.
there? And I was like, no, actually, I thought it was closed. And like now, so
Yeah.
it's just a cool, it's just been a cool hobby that's just
Yeah.
turned into a lot of
Yeah.
my life, and I love it.
Yeah, no, it's very cool, man, and I'm glad I met you along the process of my delve into all this stuff. So we're definitely gonna stay in touch, and I want to have you back on to actually do an episode where we talk a film. So I know
Cool.
my favorite, probably one of my favorite films of all time, Evil Dead 2. Last time we hung out, I saw you had that little pin on your hat. I think it was Evil Dead 2 pin. So, shit, I know you have good taste. So you pick a movie and you can come on and we'll talk about it for sure. That'd be great. But as always, every guest who comes on the show, whether community room or an interview or whatever, we always ask for them to bring our rentals for the week. So what movies are you going to be sending our listeners home with this week, man?
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to ask me. I know guests usually do the rental, so that's cool. I put some thought into it. I went with like a theme of like a genre that I really like. I'm sure it has a name, but kind of like this surreal road trip film, right?
Okay.
So like there was a there's quite a few of those where, it just doesn't feel like the real world, and people are on, whether they're in a car or however they're traveling, and they're traveling into the hinterlands or whatever that
I
German
like
word is,
that.
right? So,
Yeah.
first one, Motorama from 1991
Okay.
by Barry Shills. It's about this kid. Man, I didn't go read any of the recaps or descriptions about these movies before I wrote them down. I haven't watched Motorama in a while. It's this kid, and he he's driving like a red Mustang. I think he
Okay.
stole it, and
Yeah.
he's trying to win this gas station sweepstakes, right? Like that's the premise of this film, but it's just such a bizarre his trip
Okay.
through the
Nice.
is it America? It's hard to say, right? So yeah,
Uh,
Motorama 91,
all right.
Roadside Prophets
Okay.
1992 by Abby Wool or Abe. I'm not sure. It's ABBE. That's got John Doe from the band X and one of the Beastie Boys,
Oh,
Adam
nice. Okay.
Horovitz. Yeah,
Huh.
Ad Rock is in it. They are searching for El Dorado. These, it's
Okay.
it's a wacky one too, right? John Doe works at a factory and a guy gets electrocuted, and he has to bring his ashes to El Dorado. And they just get into shenanigans and meet weird folks along the way. A lot of cool cameos in that one. I think Arlo Guthrie and
Oh,
Timothy
yeah.
Leary,
Okay.
and there's just weird
Huh.
counterculture people that pop up.
Yeah.
Roadside Prophets, definitely that one I saw for the first time when I was in college, and all of these movies that I'm gonna mention for the most part are ones where when I watched them I was like, was this a real movie or did I just make this up in my? Is this
Was
a
this a
fever
dream?
dream? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a cool one. And it's got John Doe and a Beastie Boy, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Um, Interstate 60, that one is a little later. That's 2003. And I
Okay.
feel like there's some actor, one of those kind of teen heartthrob dudes from the 90s, like Josh Hartnett or one of those guys.
Hmm.
But I don't remember. It's
Okay.
just another one. I don't remember too much specifically about that one. I think they're looking for a city that doesn't really exist somewhere in Colorado. And again, it's just a road trip. Just some weird
Okay.
stuff ensues. Yeah, Interstate 60 by Bob Gale.
Okay.
And then the last one, because I get four, right? Is four and then a kids movie?
Four and the family
Yeah.
friendly. Yeah.
Yeah, Dudes. This one's not as surreal. This is just kind of a straight up revenge road trip film. But Dudes by Penelope Spheris,
Okay.
1987, also of Wayne's World fame and the decline of
Hmm.
Western civilization series. Three of these movies also feature Flea of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I just realized too. So
Oh, okay.
he was just in all
Nice.
these.
Good
But
theme. Yeah.
Dudes is John Cryer playing a punk rocker, which isn't really John Cryer's strong suit, I don't think. And Daniel Roebuck, and Flea, their friend, gets
Hmm.
murdered, and they have to. Well, they're leaving New York City, and then he gets murdered by Lee Ving of the band Fear,
Okay.
which Flea also played in for a time. But yeah, they
Yeah.
have to get revenge on for their friend's death. So that's
Nice.
just a few of my favorite road trip flicks.
Okay. Cool, man. All right.
And
Well, so what's your family friendly?
my family friendly, also kind of a road trip flick, and maybe
Okay.
I feel like maybe you guys have suggested this one before, but Five Goes West.
Oh, we haven't.
You haven't?
We
There you
haven't
go. Yeah.
suggested that.
All
No.
right. So yeah, An American Tale, the sequel, Five Goes West, when the family's got to get out of the big city because
Yeah.
they got to get away from the cats, man. So they're also on a trek, on a trip.
Nice. I love the theme, man. Actually, so we're I don't know if you listened into these episodes, but last October we did the Halloween road trip. So we're making that an annual thing. So we're headed into October and we're planning our road trip. So your theme of road trips and on the road stuff is going to lead us into
Oh,
our
nice.
actual road trip. So fuck yeah, man.
Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, we were talking, how do we organize that? Are we going to go east to west? I don't know. We were talking, wrong turn. Do we want to go Appalachia and then Children of the Corn and then, Hills Have Eyes and then end on some shit in California. I don't know. We'll see. But that's cool, man. That's cool. Awesome. So I'm telling you, I really want to get you on for a movie episode soon. This was really cool. I think you have great knowledge and insights, and I appreciate you caring enough about physical media and collecting in general to want to come on and talk about it. So everybody listening, please take a second right now. I'll wait. Go follow Video Historical Society, VHSOA on Instagram. All right. Give me a sec. All right, cool. Thanks for doing that. Mike's awesome. And Mike, I appreciate you, buddy. And I'll send you the invite to Ari's birthday shortly. So
Nice.
we're going to have you guys
Cool.
out if you
Looking
want.
forward
So,
to it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
man. Cool. All right. Well, I'll let you out of here, and I'll be talking to you soon, man.
All right. Thanks,
All
Dylan.
right. Peace, buddy. Take
See
it
you,
easy.
man.